Welcome back, everyone. Cops banned from asking day laborers in Mamaroneck, New York, whether or not they're here legally. Is this justice for the workers or injustice against the city? Time for a fair and balanced debate. Michael Wildes is an immigration attorney and mayor of Englewood, New Jersey. And in Kansas City, former Justice Department official and University of Missouri, that is, law professor Chris Kobach. Good to see you both, gentlemen.
Pleasure.
All right, Michael, let me start with you. So there was this ruling in Mamaroneck, New York, I can't speak this morning, that said basically these day laborers did have the right to work in the city and not to be harassed by the police asking their legal status.
In a 30-page decision, the federal judge actually found that there was racial bias, that this was a pretext, and that things were being targeted against this group, which was largely a Latino group. It created a vigilante spirit, if you would, and it was a hallmark case, if you would, in reminding ourselves that we cannot create an environment where we are going to pick out one group and pick on them. In all truth, police officers were actually stopping Latino drivers in cars with seatbelts and just motioning to white people that they should put their seatbelts on. Hundreds upon hundreds of tickets were given out in certain muster areas, and then other people were forgiven. Guns were brandished, lights were flashed, all kinds of intimidating conduct occurred, and it was really inappropriate given the kind of nation we live in and the kind of challenges we have to deal with.
Chris, what's your take on this? Because a lot of people around the country would say, hey, police should have the authority to ask what your immigration status is, because there are, in fact, laws on the book, even though sometimes they're not enforced.
Well, actually, the police do have the authority. The Supreme Court said so in March of 2005 in the Mueller versus Mina decision. The Supreme Court said police are perfectly within their rights to ask any individual his immigration status. They said you can even do that without probable cause. It's basic information, like asking a person his name and his age. And so the police do have that right. And on the contrary, the workers do not have the right to be working in the United States. You know, this is not a harmless transaction. There are several crimes occurring. It's a crime to knowingly employ an illegal laborer. It's a crime to be in the United States if you came in without an inspection.
But with all respect,
it's a continuing federal violation to remain in the United States. And all of these criminal activities are occurring within the jurisdiction of the local police. Now, I will say that, of course, it is wrong and it is illegal to discriminate, to apply only to one racial group. And to the extent that the town was doing that, they have to stop.
Do you believe they're making a contribution to society?
Well, what happened here, Gretchen, was they did discriminate. All of what the gentleman said is true. It is a crime to have done some of the things that they did, and the employers should be sanctioned for doing this. But the government is not coming after this, and this is a huge problem. Our immigration problem is broken, and because of the break, effectively the cities are being shouldered with the bills.
Right.
And you have to be judicious in the way you handle
It's why
things.
it's being spoken about all across the country and will continue to be spoken about. Michael Wildes, Chris Kobach, thanks for joining me this morning. Just ahead on the show, the case of the $54 million pants, now in the hands of a judge. Griff Jenkins gives us the inside scoop when we come back.